You know what's interesting? Every time there's a war or some kind of global crisis, it feels like the world is ending financially. When you're living through it, that fear feels real. But history tells a very different story. If you look at this chart here, it tracks the Dow Jones going all the way back to 1913, and it literally maps major wars right on top of the market. World War I, World War II, Vietnam, 9/11, all of it. And what's wild is what actually happened after those events. During World War I, when things were objectively awful, the Dow didn't go to zero. Over an 8-year period after the war, it was up 504%. After World War II, again, one of the most destructive periods in human history, the Dow went on to rise 523% in the 15 years that followed. Even during Vietnam, which dragged on forever and felt like constant chaos, the market still moved higher over time. And then look at the period after 1980. Despite inflation, despite geopolitical tension, despite recessions, the Dow ended up being over 1,400%. Now, here's the part most people miss. That pink line on the chart is inflation. Yes, inflation went up. In some periods, CPI rose over 200%, but the stock market didn't just keep up, it crushed it. That's the key lesson. When people say, I'm just going to sit on cash until things calm down, what they're actually doing is locking in inflation losses. Cash feels safe emotionally, but historically, it's been one of the worst places to hide during uncertain times. Because while inflation quietly eats away purchasing power, ownership in productive companies has consistently pulled ahead. And none of this means wars are good. None of this minimizes how tragic they are. But from a market standpoint, this isn't new. Every single one of these moments felt terrifying in real time. People were convinced that the system was broken. They thought, hey, this time it's different. And every single time, markets eventually moved higher. Not in a straight line, not without volatility, but higher. That's why knee-jerk reactions are so dangerous. The market doesn't collapse because of fear. It stumbles, recalibrates, and then keeps going. And when you zoom out far enough, you realize something important. The biggest gains didn't come from predicting headlines. They came from staying invested while the world was noisy. Markets are emotional short-term. They panic just like people do. But long-term, they're driven by productivity, innovation, and growth. And those things don't stop because of bad news. The world has always been chaotic, but somehow markets have kept moving forward anyway. The real question isn't whether things feel scary right now. They always do. The real question is whether you let fear make decisions for you, or whether you trust the long-term patterns that have played out again and again. That's it.